Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum friends. Welcome back to Football Gupshup. A big breaking news coming up, which has apparently rocked the football world, is Sir Jim Ratcliffe has purchased Manchester United in a 25% stake, and this is the big breaking news everywhere. It's been breaking all over. This was in the making since the whole year. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos were in a bid alongside Qatar as well, and they were in race to buy Manchester United. Although it's not a complete takeover, but apparently it is. It's just a 25% stake, and we're going to go through the different news, what they're reporting right now about this new news that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has apparently bought Manchester United. He's going to be the new owner, and he will be doing all of those, basically doing the first team decisions. That means hiring managers, hiring director of football, hiring basically all key personnel in the football which are behind the scenes, as well as they will be doing some changes in terms of the stadium, in terms of training ground, as well as buying players and selling players. So many more things to discuss. So what we're going to do is we're going to go straight away and jump in and see what is apparently being reported all around the world in terms of news. So we're going to go with BBC's, then Sky Sports, and on so on. So that is what we're going to do right now. And let's go and see what is apparently BBC reporting at this moment. And let's have a look. As you can see on your screen, it is basically Manchester United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe agrees deal to buy 25% stake for 1.25 billion pounds. And there you go. Welcome to Manchester for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Now, British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe has agreed to buy a 25% stake worth about 1.25 billion in Manchester United. As part of the deal, Ratcliffe's Ineos Group will take control of the club football operations. So there you go. They'll be taking over the football operations. Ratcliffe, who's age 71, will also provide $300 million, which comes around 236 million pounds, basically for future investment into the club's Old Trafford Stadium. So he's going to invest that amount of money in the stadium. So how will that result in? Maybe they will kind of upgrade the stands, or maybe they will try to fix those roof. Maybe the seats will be upgraded. Who knows? Or maybe they will kind of make an extension. Maybe apparently, I think they might go over 80,000 seats. So who knows? Now, the announcement comes 30 months after the club owners, Glazer family, stated that they were considering selling to explore strategic alternatives. Now, the American family bought the club for 790 million in 2005. The only publicly declared bidder, Qatari banker Sheikh Jassim, withdrew his offer to buy 100% of club in October. So United have been struggling this season. So it goes on to say that apparently this is a new, basically kind of thing for Manchester United. And now, in the statement, what Manchester United have released on their website, it goes on to say this: whilst the commercial success of the club has ensured that they have always been available funds to win trophies at the highest level, this potential has not been fully unlocked in recent times. This is what Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said. And we will bring the global knowledge, expertise, and talent from the wider Ineos Sport Group to help drive further improvement at the club, while also providing funds intended to enable future investment into Old Trafford. We are here for the long term and recognize that a lot of challenges and hard work lie ahead, which we will approach with rigor, professionalism, and passion. We are committed to working with everyone at the club, the board, staff, players, and fans to help drive the club forward. Our shared ambition is clear. We all want to see Manchester United back where we belong, at the very top of English, European, and world football. The club says the deal is subject to customary regulatory approvals, but are hopeful it will be completed as soon as possible. Now, how will the deal work? Radcliffe has agreed to buy 25% of the club's Class B shares, largely held by the Glazer family, who own 69% of the club and contain almost all the voting rights and up to 25% of its Class A shares, which are listed on the New York stock market. It means the Glazer family will retain a majority stake in the club. Taking on sporting control at the club means Ineos, which is Radcliffe's company, will oversee the men's and women's football operation and academies. They will also get 2 seats on the Manchester United PLC and the Manchester United Football Club boards. Subject to necessary approvals, Ratcliffe will delegate his seats on the PLC board to John Rees, a shareholder of Ineos, and Robin Nevitt, chairman of Ineos Sport. So that is what he has done on PLC board. He has apparently given his seat up to 2 men who are named as John Rees as well as Robin Nevin. Now, on the UK club board, he will delegate his seats to former British cycling chief Sir Dave Brailsford and former Juventus and PSG executive Jean-Claude Blanc, who was reported in the news circle. United executive co-chairman and directors Avram Glazer and Joel Glazer said Sir Jim and Ineos bring a wealth of commercial experience as well as significant financial commitment into the club. Though Ineos Sport, Manchester United will have access to season-high performance professionals experience in creating leading elite teams from both inside and outside of the game. Manchester United has talented people right across the club, and our desire is to always improve at every level to help bring our great fans more success in the future. Now, this goes on to say again and again, but basically, apparently, Manchester United, everybody knows that they have been struggling since last 10 years, since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, and we had so many managers in the name of David Moyes, then Jose Mourinho, Louis Van Gaal, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, then Ralph Ragnick came in, and now it's Erik Ten Hag. And United haven't been able to do as they used to do under Sir Alex Ferguson, which was winning. And even on the domestic front, they have been quite poor. So many years they have also missed on European campaigns, such as missing on the qualifications of Champions League, which resulted basically that Manchester United have spent over £1 billion in the transfer market, and still they haven't been able to get success. The biggest success that came was under Jose Mourinho when they won the Europa League. Other than that, they have been quite mediocre. And now this team will apparently tend to fix what has been broken over these 10 years. And where will Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe look into? We'll go into that in a little bit more detail. Now let's have a go and look Sky Sports, which says basically Sir Jim Ratcliffe completes deal to purchase 25% of the club. And what it would mean, will they go into the transfer market? We have no idea. Now Ratcliffe is acquiring the interest for $33 a share, £26 that comes around for British pound, in a deal that will include all aspects of the men and women's football operations and academies. So there you go. And it will take 6 to 8 weeks before they take the complete takeover, and that will be quite sufficient. And now the key point here is that 300 billion, which is going to invest in the infrastructure, what it means is training ground, what it means stadium. They haven't told the complete outline of it. Maybe they will release it in the coming weeks and so. And they apparently are going to spend around $1.5 billion, which comes around $1.2 billion. That was the bid, which is accepted by Glazers. And there you go. That means it has been bought. And there is this profile of Sir Dave Brailsford and 18 Olympic gold medals. So there you go. Here's one Tour de France as well. He'll be taking over Manchester United. Now, what it would mean in terms of what they will do in the transfer market, I'll come to that as well. We'll have a quick look on what is Daily Mail's reporting right now. They have done a big piece on Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It says that the deal has been completed. They will look into the infrastructure as it has been reported by BBC and Sky Sports as well. And I think that this is going to be a hot news all across the internet, and most probably we'll see. And they've selected a very good day today, which is Christmas Eve. Nobody was expecting it to be happening today, maybe because everybody's on holiday, and they have made out a surprise in terms of that. So that is quite interesting. Now, in respect to looking at what is being reported, we're going to go over to the Sun, and Manchester United takeover confirmed as Sir Jim Ratcliffe buys 25% and injects 237 million to kickstart new era. Now that 237 million, is that for transfer or is it for stadium? And so we do not know. Maybe we'll find out more in the coming weeks as well. But let's head over to the Twitter and see what's been reported. Now there is some news breaking through different media outlets, and we're going to go through them one by one. This is one of the accounts that we follow for the latest Manchester United transfer news. There is an agreement that the Glazers must first offer their remaining shares to Sir Jim Ratcliffe if they decide to sell them in the future. That has been reported by Mike Keegan, who works for Daily Mail. Then you can see this is the new CEO of Manchester United Football Club, Jean-Claude Blanc, who was apparently CEO of Juventus and PSG. So he brings his expertise into this. Now, furthermore, we'll look into this. Sir Jim Ratcliffe will delegate his PLC board, as reported earlier, to his Ineos colleagues, Robin Nevin and John Rees. Now, we also have apparently seen Sir Dave Brailsford will start his assessment of MUFC as soon as possible, and then any decision related to Ten Hag's job. So Ten Hag job is going to be under scrutiny. It will be looked into, and they will see where does Eric Ten Hag is in terms of what does he think, what's happening around the team, why they're performing in terms of not as up to the levels as they did in previous year, and they will ask him those questions. Maybe he'll be able to answer them. A football director, so they will look into a football director and the rest of the football structure, among other things, that will be taken. So that is the most important, which has been reported by Jamie Jackson, who works for Guardian. Now, looking into this news, I think it's pretty clear that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to make some decisions which are going to be under highlight, and most of it will have to do in terms of the staff, the players, and I think the key over here for Sir Jim Ratcliffe is to give some time to Eric Ten Hag. He needs to have a word with him, and I'm sure that Jean Claude will come in and have a word with Eric Ten Hag and see what does Eric Ten Hag thinks, and maybe when they go and appoint the sporting director or the technical director, whatever you want to name it, that will be the key in terms of where Manchester United is going to head. Because whenever there is a takeover of a club, every club acts differently. If you remember when Manchester City was taken over by the Abu Dhabi Group, things didn't start it out as we see it today. It started slowly. It started with the transfers. It started with the stadium. It started with the training ground. It started with the behind the scenes, staff recruitment, the academy, and everything. Hiring coaches and all that stuff. Now, if you compare that with the Chelsea takeover, it's completely different. So we do not know what can we expect from this Manchester United takeover, because it's not a complete takeover, it's just a 25%, although they do hand over the football operations. So Glazers have apparently handed over the football making decisions over to another group, who now will look at this and they will make their own decisions, and they will see how can they make things better in terms of footballing wise, in terms of performance wise, in terms of where they think the competition is and where they're at, where the level is at. And they would want to bring that level up to that competition level. So what it means is apparently challenging the likes of Arsenal, challenging the likes of Liverpool, challenging the likes of Manchester City, challenging even you can see that Newcastle United, Tottenham, and many other teams who are performing good over these years. And Manchester United, on the other hand, have been not up to the level where these teams are at. So this new setup is going to look over onto those kind of things and will make certain improvements in that operation mindset, and they will choose some key people who will be given those kind of special roles, and then it will be expected that those changes start taking place and then being implemented, and then we will see the results maybe over a year, maybe over 2 years. Who knows, maybe they come in and they make a decision that they want to get rid of Eric Ten Hag and get a new manager. Maybe that would be the case. Maybe they would think, you know what, maybe the manager is correct, whereas the previous guys such as Ralph Ragnick, he did point it out that there needs to be change made in the playing staff. That means changing some of the players, and maybe this board, maybe these group would come in and say, you know what, maybe we should listen to the manager and get rid of those players who have not been at world class level. Maybe they have not been consistent enough, and they could go down that route as well. Now, key here is that we're getting in the news is this, that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to ask for Sir Alex Ferguson's advice. Now, if Sir Alex Ferguson's advice is basically based upon that what Sir Alex Ferguson has seen for the last 10 years, it might be the case that where he could say that, you know what, maybe the manager should have the final say, because that's how he used to work. And with this new setup, maybe Sir Jim Ratcliffe would go like, okay, if you want to listen to the manager, but the manager cannot be the sole responsible person to make football decisions. So we need to include like at least two or three more people in that setup. So in case if the manager is not there, the club has to progress through without the manager, with or without the manager. So for that reason, they will bring in a sporting director, and then they will make a kind of a team kind of thing, and then you'll see how will Manchester United go. I do not expect quick results. I do not expect uh, even you would say by next season. I don't think so. It's going to happen. We might see small changes. We might see some changes in here and there. The actual results that we're going to get is maybe most probably after 2 years' time, maybe 3 years' time. And there's so much news coming around this takeover that I read somewhere, and I'm just having a look, and I think it did said that apparently by 2026, maybe Manchester United, is basically because Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to improve his stakes in the club. Now, it all depends on Glazers if they want to sell more shares to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And that will be the key to find out where Manchester United is actually heading. So, anyway, that is the case with this takeover. Right now, there is a poll running. Will Sir Jim Ratcliffe achieve success for Manchester United? Hopefully, you guys will be giving in your votes over there. I do expect that Sir Jim Ratcliffe will apparently appoint the sporting director. Once that sporting director is hired, then we'll wait and see where do the manager and sporting director are at. Because of course there will be kind of discussions going on in the club between manager as well as the coaching staff as well as the recruitment staff. Maybe the changes that will be made in the recruitment staff will indicate where this club is heading at. Now, so far we have seen in the transfers that Eric Ten Hag tends to go and choose his players basically whoever he worked with, who he knows about. Even the Malasia deal, it was basically that Malasia played in Eredivisie and Eric Ten Hag knew about the league and that is why he went for him. Although now Malasia hasn't played that much, he's always injured. Maybe we'll see that the policy in terms of giving 100% reign to manager might be brought down. And we might see a sporting director with his team apparently looking at many players, and then they're going to make a rapport on that, and then they're going to go to the manager and say, you know what, we found this so and so. This is your option A, this is your option B, this is your option C, this is your option D. This is what we think. Uh, this is what the feedback we've gotten from the scouts. Um, Maybe this player is going to be at here. This is our analysis, and on so on and on so on. And maybe the manager can give his input, and then we can at least see Manchester United operating in the norms where the other clubs operate at. We've seen this happening at other clubs. Maybe Manchester United have come in late into this, and maybe the reason is due to the fact that Sir Alex Ferguson was so successful, and because of that, Manchester United were struck in the old ways, and now they've finally opened their eyes after so many years of failures, after so many years of those investment being ruined, almost £1 billion, and that's a lot of money. So hopefully we'll find some changes. So guys, this is the breaking news that we have, and hopefully you would have liked this episode. So please do give us subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next